Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Namsaj, and I wanted to make this video just to talk about some of the issues that I personally have noticed or that I'm having with my Xbox One. Um, First of all, don't get it twisted. I absolutely love the Xbox One. I think it's absolutely great. And the issues that I'm having, nothing big. I'm really fortunate not to be experiencing some of the stuff that a lot of people are experiencing, such as their machine not even booting on, or the discs not ejecting properly, and all of that good stuff. So I'm not having any of those issues, and so that's absolutely great. But just minor things that I'm hoping that eventually they'll fix, maybe through an update or whatnot, because they have caused me quite some frustration, and not myself, but apparently a lot of other people. I've joined the Xbox One forum, and a lot of the people on there have been expressing some of their disdain as far as like party invites and just being able to accept game invites, joining games, and stuff like that, which is I'm totally there with them because I've been experiencing the same thing, but also some other little issues. And so I just kind of wanted to go through those. Maybe you guys are experiencing the same thing. Maybe it's something I'm just doing wrong. Maybe it's something I can change in my settings or just something like that. Or maybe you even agree with me. And like I've said, you're going through these same things. So anyway, just kind of wanted to put it out there. Not really complaining because, like I said, I really am excited and happy about what I have. And I'm just hoping that these little things just get rectified in the near future. So, one thing which I've kind of already discussed is yes, the party invites, the join in the game feature, they have made that way too complicated. It is not as easy as what it used to be on the 360. Why they changed it, I had no freaking idea because that was just, I mean, that was perfect. And I could say it was perfect compared to what they've given us now. It's just like, oh my goodness, it's such a hassle. Apparently, you have to start a party, invite people to your party. Then, if you are going into a game, you have to send them another party invite, which will invite them to the game. I haven't been able to join a game that my husband's in. We're in the same house. His NAT type would be like moderate. Mine would be strict. I cut off my Xbox, turn on the next day. Now it's open. It like changes from day to day, and I never had that problem on the 360. When I would go into my router settings, we always had it open, and it never changed. Why it's kind of going back and forth now with the Xbox One, I really have no idea. Aside from just not being able to accept party invites and kind of how to do that, the other issue that I've ran into is that once I finally got a party set up, is you do have to manually click on turn on party chat. It's not already on. So even though you've sent the invite and it shows you and everybody else that you've invited to the party as being there, if you don't click on turn on party chat, then you can't hear anybody talking, which you would automatically think that if I invited people to a party, automatically need to be in party chat. For me to have to manually turn that on once the party has started is kind of like pointless. But anyway, you have to make sure you turn that on. And there's really no way to tell the other people in the party because they have to also turn it on once they've been invited, unless you're going to send them a message or something. And it just gets really kind of weird. But anyway, even after you turn on party chat, the other thing is we'll be in the party chat talking and everything, and then just out of nowhere, party chat is disabled. And there's no notification. There's nothing that pops up to tell you that your party's no longer active. You're just talking and you're asking questions and you're not getting the response. And you're like, what the heck? Why are they ignoring me? And lo and behold, your party has been inactivated. It still shows that your party chat is on. You still see the other person in there. For some crazy reason, they cannot hear you. So I've had to turn a party chat off and then turn it back on again. Sometimes I had to leave the party, re-invite the people in order to get it fixed. It's just happened so many times where it's working fine. It's working fine for 5-10 minutes. And then you go to start talking and nobody can hear you. So that really sucks. The other thing that I've experienced, and maybe this is just something that I've done wrong as far as setting up my voice recognition, is that I really have a hard time with the Xbox recognizing my voice. It takes me 2 or 3 tries to say Xbox on for it to come on. And I'm talking loud enough, I'm talking clear. And I think it's just kind of that feature because when I'm in the game, I can say Xbox record that, I can say snap party, and it will do all of those things. So it's recognizing my voice okay, but something about it turning on and turning off is just like, I have to say it so many times in order for it to actually do that. So don't know if there's like kind of a hardware issue right there, but it seems that my voice works fine on all the other menus. Another thing is that without even telling the Xbox to do something, it would just automatically do it. Like I'll be in the middle of a game and then the one guide to come up, which if you don't know what the one guide is, that's pretty much like your cable box, the menu that comes up that tells you all of the channels and what's actually airing at what times. And you can select with your remote what you want to watch and it goes to that. Well, that's what the one guide pretty much is. It's Xbox's way of communicating to your cable box and bringing up all of the shows that are showing for you to pick one through. That would just automatically come up while I'm like gaming. I'm like, Doc, I didn't say Xbox One guide. The other thing is that it would just randomly start recording without you saying Xbox record that. And you won't know that it's even, it just did it now. You won't even know that it's recording until the little notification pops up and says game clip recording. You're like, what the heck are you recording? So that is pretty weird. Like I said, those things can probably be fixed with an update. So no biggie. The last thing that I realized was like just absolutely ridiculous was last night trying to sync a second controller that's already previously been synced to another Xbox One to another one, if that makes sense. I wanted to play NBA 2K14 with my husband last night, and so I took my controller in there to play with him because he has a one and I have a one. We just don't have two copies of NBA 2K14. So I took my controller in there to sync up with his, and it took forever to get it synced up. Like he was pressing the button on the side of the Xbox. We're assuming that's the button to press. And then I'm pressing the button on the controller and the lights are blinking. And nothing really ever synced. Then once we finally got it to sync by actually plugging it into his USB, it deactivated his controller and then my controller was set up. Then we realized after we did some Googling that you have to set up two accounts on one Xbox, two user accounts, so that it recognizes both in order for you to play two players on NBA 2K14. So we did that. And then finally, both of the controllers seemed to be working okay. But as we were playing the game, he was the Lakers, I was the Heat. And it was like the ball went out of bounds and then we had to throw the ball back in. Automatically, I was in control of the Lakers and he was in control of the Heat. Like the controllers kept switching. And then my controller, which was fully charged, just automatically died. And it was just like, are you serious? This is just, it's just getting ridiculous. I don't know. But that whole process of trying to sync that second controller to his Xbox was ridiculous. And it was like, you would get to a point where if we were both on the home screen, both of the controllers could control anything on the home screen. But as soon as you went to the game only recognized one controller. So that really sucked. And I don't know if that's something that they can fix with an update, but I definitely think some clarification on how you can successfully sync a second controller to an Xbox One that's already previously been synced to another one would definitely be helpful. And where is the button on your Xbox that you need to push before you push the button on your controller to actually sync it? Like I said, the only button we could find was there's one on the left side of the Xbox One right next to where that USB plug is. So hopefully that was the right one. I don't know. But anyway, those are just some of the little issues. Matter of fact, those are all. I can say that those are all of the issues. Other than that, there's really nothing else. I think my biggest frustration is really that freaking party. That party invite, joining games, that whole thing. That really needs to be streamlined. One other thing I will say about the voice recognition or setting your whole voice recognition up for the Xbox to talk to your cable box and all of that other stuff, if you have that set up, is that it doesn't seem that the Xbox One works really well with older televisions. I have a really old, probably one of the first flat screens to come out for RCA. And if you're setting up your voice recognitions, the Xbox asks you what's your make and model of your television and all of that good stuff. And if it's not in the list that they provide, then you can add in your product number and all of that, which is what I had to do because mine was so old. And I had it hooked up to an Emerson. Now, when it was hooked up to my Emerson, which was a smaller TV, the reason why I went to my RCA is because it was a lot bigger. The Emerson worked fine because it was probably a little bit newer. Even though it still wasn't in that list, once I added in the information, the Xbox was able to control my volume up and down, turn my TV off and on, my mute and my menus and all of that. With my RCA, even after I put in the product information, it can't control my volume up and down. It can't turn it on and off. The only thing it has access to is my menu, and really don't need it to have access to that. It can't even mute my TV. So those features just don't work. So that's kind of maybe something you want to keep in mind, that it doesn't really work very well, or at least you're not going to be able to benefit from all of the voice recognition features if your TV is a little bit older, being hooked up to the Xbox One. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with on that. Not, like I said, not a deal breaker. Matter of fact, none of these things to me were really a deal breaker. I could have known of all of these issues prior to buying the Xbox One, and I still would have bought it. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm confident that these little issues that we're having, they'll probably fix them, or at least give us some clarification on what we can do on our end to fix them, or a workaround or something like that. And I think it'll be better. But all in all, I still think that it's a great system. I really have no regrets, just some little issues that I feel like need to be ironed out. And this is what happens. We know that when new consoles hit, you're going to have some issue with them. You're going to have some serious ones. You're going to have some minor ones that can be fixed. And so hopefully these are minor ones that can be fixed. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and get some playing done before it is time for me to go to bed and wake up to the work week tomorrow. So I want to appreciate you guys for watching this video. Thank you very much. You can thumbs up, you can comment, you can like. If you have an Xbox One, or you know somebody who does, or who is experiencing some issues, please share those below. If you know any workarounds to any of these issues that I'm having, that would be much appreciated. I thank you for those. If you want to add those below as well. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this video, please do so. And if not, you guys, I will catch you another time. Thanks very much.